Hello, everybody. So, just sitting here watching this Ender farm go. Enderman farm, rather. Should be getting quite a few Ender Pros, which we are, which is great to see. Good thing about these little gateways here is I have access to the mob masher, so I can add whatever I want later if I want to. So that's cool. Cool stuff. The thing that I did notice, though, is once I am away from that mob farm, if we look in the dimensional chest here, nothing comes through. Yeah. So even though the area is claimed and force loaded by all of that, right? Even though it is claimed and force loaded, it is not being. It's not, going. Which I can get rid of these. Yeah. So they're not being. They're not being loaded, which means I have to stand here for the stuff, which is kind of It's kind of eh. So we'll try to figure out a way around that eventually, but for now, it's just gonna have to be how it is. Let's quickly go back to see how many ender pearls we do have. We got 1,000 of them. We're going to keep it going for a little while. I mean, I'm not over there. I'm not. See, look, yeah, it doesn't produce anything. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it off. It's not really that great anyway. So that's okay. I did create this, so I've been a little busy. So Sardis Quartz, right? Sardis Quartz is one of the ongoing problems that we have. So what I ended up doing is just making a ton of elite hopper botany pots, and then just throwing a tertium farmland in there and Sardis Quartz seeds. You get these just via a tertium and a dirt and any kind of hoe. It's really easy to get. And then the Sardis Quartz seeds, they duplicate on their own. See? This one, I've got like a little void upgrade in it, so as soon as it gets to 2k, it'll void anything else. This one doesn't have an upgrade in it, so this will just back up. And this one has a ton of essence in it. So now we're going to be fixing that. I don't want to utilize botany pots because they're extremely slow, right? So, with the giant pieces of power that we have, 131 RF per tick, we will be utilizing every single bit of that. So what we're going to do is we're finally going to make a gigantic sieving system. Now, the thing with the sieving system is it has to be able to sieve the gravel, the sand, dust, and perhaps even soul sand, the crushed netherrack, the crushed blackstone, all of the different kinds of things that you can sieve, we want to, right? So it's going to be quite interesting to set up. So what we're going to be doing, let's get some patterns right quick, because we're going to need them. Okay, I don't think that did anything, right? Okay, yeah. One of the other things is I was meaning to set up this, but it I don't know. The reaction chamber is a bit buggy. It might just be the pattern that I got in there, but I don't know. Anyway, I got a auto smelting setup as well, so that's pretty neat. The auto smelting so far, we've got stone, smooth stone, brick, glass, and terracotta. So pretty cool stuff. Fairly sure this is, yeah, okay. Alright, anyway. So what we're going to do is we are going to set auto crafting up for some of these things. It's going to be a hammer. This guy, mechanical hammer. What's that mod from? Dorum? And Dorum. Right? Diorum. Ah. Okay, so we got the mechanical hammer. And then we will get a mechanical sieve. And then we'll just kind of go crazy with it. Okay? Ideally, we want diamond meshes on everything, and that shouldn't be an issue with all of the diamonds that we have. The diamonds that we have is not on the main screen, which is weird. 317 diamonds. We might have to go get some more. Might have to go get some more diamonds. Okay, do we have any hammers? We should. Yep, okay, cool. All of these have different kinds of things in them, like that. So we're just gonna get some of these out of the way right quick. Flying with a jetpack is so tedious. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, and then we can do 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, with that being said, we can probably start to put down the sieves. We will be making a auto crafting setup for these, so don't you worry. Need to do that. Send that through. So now we can craft some sieves. See? And we're just gonna plump her there. We're gonna go to power. And now we can start to move the energy in and out. Apparently we haven't slept in a while, so let's go do that. So there's no need to do anything like that. Anything crazy. So not in any big danger there. Not in really any danger. So all of these should be completely full of power, and they are. Beautiful. So now let's start placing down these mechanical sieves. So now the mechanical sieves themselves do also need power. So what we can do is we can start knocking holes in the back of there, right where they're going to be. Power. Cool beans. So now we can start placing all of these. Okay. Looks like we're all powered, and we should be ready to start running the item cables. So when it comes to running the item cables, what we're going to do is we're going to be splitting these up into series. So right off the bat, what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. And that is just to get them into their respective stuff to begin with. I did not think this through. So now all of the lines are pretty much going to where they need to go. So now we can just select this to extract, and that's whenever they're done extracting the gravel, then it'll be shoved into here. And then we can prime all of the sieves for extraction in a minute. So do we have an extremely large barrel? We got a gold barrel. Let's upgrade that. We could do a diamond barrel. That's fine. Okay, so everything's going to basically feed into this diamond barrel here, and then it will then be fed into this crafter. So now the crafter, we're going to go ahead and feed it some power because it is extremely power hungry. And there's a few different things in here that I already set up. We're going to get rid of that, and then we're going to get rid of this. We can take that in our inventory and throw it away. Actually, we can just throw it in here. Okie dokie. Let's take an item cable. Okay, so first things first, what I want it to do is whenever it gets fed into the barrel itself, I want it to extract a few things. And I want it to extract into an item trash can. Okay, so the trash can itself is going to accept only the stone pebbles. And I don't want it to accept anything other than that. Okay. The next thing is we can pretty much set this up to however we want it. That way the stone pebbles have no choice but to go into the trash can, which is pretty much what we're going to be doing here. So we could probably get rid of this. What we're going to do is we'll send it through to the trash can first, and then we'll go into the crafter, and then we can plop that on top. So the line will pretty much look just like that. Whenever we're going in here, we're going to whitelist stone pebbles, if we can drag it. Can I not drag it? What? Okay. Bam. There we go. So it's only going to be accepting the stone pebbles, and now we can configure this. Now, this system might absolutely let some stone pebbles through before going into the trash can. So in order to prevent that, we're going to fill all of this out. Okay. Now, in order to fill all that out, we kind of need the different kinds of ores. So what we can do is we can do a few things. The first thing, which we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and turn this loose. So we're going to go ahead and plumb everything into this diamond barrel here, and then we will be configuring the inside of this as we go along. There's also a decent chance that this isn't enough for everything that we have. For the diamonds, the emeralds, the coal, the flint, the amethyst, we're going to go ahead and send straight into the system with another dimensional chest that we have right here. So then we can do something like that. Now, we need to configure these, of course, right? No surprise there. What we're going to end up doing is we're just going to get rid of that connection. We're going to get rid of this connection, and then we're going to leave this. We're going to select that and this. So now this is only getting stone pebbles whenever it can. This is getting whatever we want it to, because there are different kinds of filters that you can put into those that look like that. So then we can go back to the farms. We can open this up and get rid of these two. And then this is going to be the allow list. We're only going to be allowing whatever I marked down there. So we're going to be allowing flint, coal, get rid of those, diamond, emerald, and amethyst. Right? So amethyst, flint, coal, emerald, diamond. Yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do. And then we can also do the raw. No, we're not, because we're going to be setting that up while we're there too. Okay, so we're going to go in here. So the allow list is set to coal, flint, diamond, emerald, and amethyst. Now we also can worry about the other stuff when we're there. So now we're going to set this to extract. We're going to right click, we're going to throw that in there. So now, since that's set to extract, if we throw anything else in there, it's not going to touch it. But if we go back, and let's do emerald. So keep in mind we have 835 emeralds. 835, remember that number. Bam. Automatically completely gone. Should have went into the system. Remember 835, right? And 899. So they absolutely went in. Nice stuff. So now I can go ahead and take my energy cables back. They're not going to touch them. See? They're not going to touch them. Now, whenever they're being moved into here, we're going to go ahead and get another thingy. Right? Yeah, let's get another filter. Let's get another filter with a pebble. We're going to do this. We're going to get those out. So it'll be on allow list and then pebble. And then we'll go back to the farm. And then we can select, make sure nothing's in here first. Nope. Select that, open it up, throw that in there. So now the only thing that it accepts is a stone pebble. So now this, even though we throw this stuff in there, shouldn't do anything at all. But if we throw any kind of stuff in here like coal and diamonds, and it'll get sent through, and then the stone pebbles will be sent directly into the trash. Even if you open a trash can, you shift click stuff in there, it won't go. So see, won't even go. So that's another good added security there. Then the rest will be sent straight into here, and then we can start doing further processing. We actually might want to go up with this because we're running out of room a little bit. So let's edit this a little bit. Okay. So now items will get sent into here, and then it will be sent into two different things. It'll be sent into a trash can, which needs to quit being annoying. It'll be sent into a trash can. The next one will be sent into a thingy. Actually, we could probably do something like that. And then that can be sent into a crafter. Do we want to do it that way? Probably not. Let's see. So that'll accept all the items there. And then, I'll tell you what, let's wait until we're done with plumbing every one of these first. So let's go ahead and start doing that while we're here. We've already been going for 49 minutes. That's insane. This is going to be cut down quite a bit, so that's okay. So let's keep that in hand, item cable, and let's start going crazy with it. Let's throw that away, that. When I mean throw away, I just mean send back to the system. So let's just start getting into it here. Yeah. So you'll go into the spruce chest here. Hunky dory, cool stuff. As soon as it's done in the chest, what we can do is we can knock a hole, and then we can put the different things, right? So the first things first, what we can do is we can probably, what do we do here? We could probably put the dimensional chest, because the item cable is going to be sending here. We'll set to extract, and the only reason why we want it to extract is because we want it to send only this stuff. So bam, so it's only sending that directly into here. We'll come around the back side and we can get rid of that connection there, and that connection there. So now it's sending into the dimensional chest when it receives any kind of coal, and we can test that with any kind of emerald. So then if an emerald goes in here, you can see it is being drawn out, but any other block will not. See? Cool stuff. Once that is done, then we can have another little connection here. This one is going to be able to see the floor, the ground, but I don't think that's an issue. We'll set to extract only the pebbles into there, and that will be sent directly into a trash can. Let's go ahead and get rid of that connection and that connection, and then that part is set. Now what we need to do is send every other thing into the crafter. And the crafter is going to have an item cable sending literally everything else into the crafter. So then we'll set that to extract. Might as well get a thing. That's set for amethyst, which is fine. Do we get another? I think we get another one. Filter. Wherever it's at. I don't exactly know where it be. There it is. Yep. Okay, how many slots you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Can we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We cannot do that, which means it would have to have more sides on it, which is kind of interesting. Okay, instead of that, what we could do, we could just send into the crafter, and then we can figure it out from there. Let's get rid of that connection there, and then let's give it some power, like so. Now we get down to the cool stuff, okay? Now we need to figure out the different kinds of recipes. Now if I start turning this thing on right now, all of the junk and the pebbles and stuff is going to go into here. It's non-negotiable. It's what's going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and try to preemptively get a few things rolling before we get into all of that kind of mess. Okay, so right off the bat, let's get a furnace. We're going to want a netherite furnace. We can worry about that here in a bit. The first thing we're going to look for is chunk. The first one is going to be iron ore chunks. Then we need a zinc chunk, osmium, and then gold. We got gold here. We will need nickel. We'll need copper. We'll need lead, aluminum, silver, osmium. I don't think we have everything we need. So there's osmium and then gold. And then we need silver is next. And then tin and then nickel. We don't have tin. Let's look at tin. Chunk. That's platinum. Yeah, we don't have a tin chunk, which we'll have to look out for that. We could probably sieve for it. Sieve some gravel. Yeah, so let's hook this to power. Wherever I got my power set to. Do we have like a auxiliary power? Yeah, we do right here. Okay. So let's get a sieve set up with some gravel. Oh, we need a mesh. Mesh. Okay, so that's going to go, and we're going to wait for a tin chunk. While we're missing tin chunk, the next one after is nickel, which we do have, and then aluminum, and then lead, and then copper. So lead, and then copper would be the last one. So we're waiting on literally only tin, which should have got it out of this. There it is. Cool stuff. Righty, let's go back to the farm, and let's configure this. So the very first recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 iron chunks like so, and we're going to apply it. And that is our iron ore recipe. The second one, we're going to do the exact same thing. Tin. We're going to apply it. Third one, osmium. Fourth one, gold. Fifth one is silver. Next one is tin, and we're running into an issue here where I don't believe we're going to have enough slots in this crafter. We're not. So after nickel, we got aluminum. Okay, now we've reached our first roadblock here. After that, we're going to have 2, or just 2, that don't have enough to go for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the sphere. We're going to make a crafter. Crafter tier 1 is all we will need, which is fine. It's no big deal there. Machine frame, crafter tier 1. Alright, let's go back. What we're going to do is we're going to knock a hole, and then we will continue the item cable out 1, and slap another crafter there. Now let's get a singular piece of energy cable. And then we can set that to extract from you, and that should be filling up perfectly. Nice. Now the only thing in here that we need to do, since it is a 2, we're going to be doing lead, and then we will be doing copper, just like so. Now here's the thing that we need to do. All of these input slots here are going to be a little bit weird, okay? And the reason why I say weird is it'll accept anything, see? So in order to fix that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to try not to do 4, because that's going to do that, right? So let's go ahead and throw that in the system. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of whitelisting these spots here. Okay, so let's count how many ores we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 26 slots. Which means 24 and then 2 extra. Okay, so each of them can have 3 slots to themselves. So zinc, zinc, zinc. Then we're going to press remember, and then we can grab those out. Or apparently not. Hold on a sec. What is going on here? So 3, remember. There it is. Oh, okay. So you can't shift click them out of there. So remember, and then you can grab these out. No big deal there. Okay, so we'll do 3, 3, and then we can do 1. Remember, because we can't really do it with those. Remember, 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 and remember. So now the only thing that's going to be accepted inside of all of this is the respective stuff, right? As you can see. Same thing in here. This one's going to be a bit longer of a process because I don't have any more lead. Okay, cool. So now the only thing that these can accept is copper and lead, like so. The only thing that this can accept is everything that's remembered in here. Okay. Now, whenever enough of that chunk is sent into here, it will automatically craft into the ore itself, and then it will be shoved on its way back into the system. So that's why this is here. So what we're going to be doing is we will just simply item cable it up back into the system there. So now as soon as I hook that up, you can see we have 14 gold and 1 iron, and now we no longer have 14 gold, 1 iron. Okay, that's exactly how it's meant to be, and that is our little system there. Okay, now the other thing that we did not account for, that we kind of did, is the raw iron. Okay, now the raw iron itself is going to just stack up in the system, and then I will have it auto smelting back at the main base. Let's go ahead and get that set up. So let's come in here, and the reason why I wanted to do this is because it's going to draw a little bit of power, okay? So let's get an obsidian, which means we need a crystal, which means we need a diamond, gold, silver. Actually, we don't need a silver. We need an iron, and like that. So let's go on up the ranks here. So we got a gold. Now we need a diamond. Now we need a crystal. Now we need an obsidian. And now a netherite. Now I need a factory upgrade, which looks like, oh, factory augment. Looks like that. Seems we need paper. Cool. We don't need the speed upgrade because this is going to be quite quick. And then what we can do is we could probably set it to, yeah, you can see how much we got in here. Let's get a flux point. Let's do that. Let's do a couple eyes of Ender. Flux point. 4. Few blocks of redstone. Flux point. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to do a few things. So what we can do is we could get an export bus. And then we can do raw iron. And get some acceleration cards. And then we can do this right here. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do is we could set a netherite furnace up about right here. We can do the export bus directly on the bottom of it. Actually, no, it'd probably be... Yeah, we can do it on the bottom of it. And then we can go into the augments factory. And this is what the factory looks like. We can do split on, and then let's do the config. So let's go ahead and reset all of the configs. Okay, so all of these are set to none. Auto input on, auto output on. And now what we can do is we can throw a set of power on him. Cool beans. Let's get a cable. Right here. Cool. Now, that should say device online, which it is. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to set this to extract with some speed upgrades only the raw iron, and this is going to set to input on the bottom, input output, okay? And that is all we really have to do. So now as soon as this raw iron gets sent in, let's actually get a little bit more raw iron from this guy, because I kind of do want to watch it work. So now as soon as the system detects the raw iron in the system, it should be pulled back out into this guy. And just like that. Now as soon as it's done, it will hopefully auto extract out the bottom. No, because I needed import bus. Okay, good to know. So this will be set to input, and then the right will be set to output. And let's get a import bus. Import bus. We can just do one of those. Sticky piston, import bus, like so. Let's get some more acceleration cards. I'm also going to need a cable. Wherever they're at here. Let's do import, and then we can do cable. So, see there, it is drawing out, and then if we throw the 4 acceleration cards in there, it's really quick. Okay, so that is going to be the auto smelting of the iron, which is going to be nice and cool, fun stuff. So now, let's see what happens. Okay, so, oh well, that's already here now. Okay, now, there's a few things with that. The raw iron is absolutely being pulled out here and auto smelted, right? You can see that there. That's the raw iron. Now, what we could do is we could throw some things in here. We could do a capacity card, but that's not going to be that fast. Let's go to power and let's charge our jetpack. So I haven't shown you exactly how fast this is. Look at that. Bam. Cool stuff. Full jetpack. Righty. So... After everything is done crafting, it'll be crafted into the ore and then shipped straight to the system. Okay, that's kind of what I don't want, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because of that. Yeah, okay. So let's get another netherite furnace. Do we do furnace? We got a gold to diamond, might as well use it. So obsidian, crystal, diamond, golden, iron, and bam. Okay, so that's gold to iron. Or gold to diamond, my bad. So this, boom, alright, boom. Got diamond furnace. Emerald, obsidian, netherite. Then fac augment. Factory augment, and then we also need a flux point. Let's get these for this. Bam, bam. Cool beans. All right. Farms. Get rid of these. Okay. Now, whenever these guys are done crafting, what I'm actually going to do is send them out this way. No, I'm not. I'm going to send them out this way into here. Then we can do. We can do this. And then we can do 2 item cables like that. Get rid of that. We can send them out into this guy. And then this one, let's throw the factory augments in there. Throw the flux point. Like so. And then we can get rid of these. Reset all. So this one will be input from the left. And then output from the back, which would be here. And then it can go into the system as the finished product. Okay. We happy there? Split on, input left, output the back, auto input and output, and then that should be fully set up and ready to roll. I think we're ready. I believe we are. I believe we are ready. All right, everybody. Without further ado, this entire episode was pretty much just gravel, which kind of is interesting for sure. So that's a lot of gravel. It's a lot of gravel being hammered in there. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, it's off to the races. Oh, I forgot. Oh, well. You know, it's great that the hammering goes on, but I kind of need some sieves, right? So in the meantime, the cables are going to be stacking up with gravel and waiting the sieves. So I need, what, 32? 32 diamond meshes. 32 minus 7, what is that? I don't know. 25? We're missing string. How do we get string? Can I make a ton of string, please? No? Okay. Let's get some saplings then. Oh, we could do a massive one. And then a silkworm. Oops, get some dirt. Yeah, we're not worried about the thingy. Let's go to the mining dimension, which would be power. I didn't even bring bone meal. Really? That's all you got? Oh, come on. Oh, that's not where I meant to go. This is fine. Why no leaves? See, that's what I'm talking about. Back to the sphere. Gonna need some crooks. Oop. I kind of want to keep these on me because I use the cables quite a bit. Look at that. Already going crazy with it. Alright, we're going to be cutting back in when all of these are infested. Not fully infested, but that's alright. Here we go. Got a little bit. It's actually got 312 durability. It's actually pretty good. I got to sneeze. Alright, let's go back. What did I say? 25? Yeah. It's going to be using 100 diamonds. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. Whoops. Ish. I forgot they stack in 16s. Looks like all of these guys are full. Then, yep, okay, here we go. Alright, are we all happy? I think we're happy. I think we're happy. That's what it looks like anyway. Okay. So it may or may not have set the thing to extract. Well, I mean, that's good in a way. Okay, so that's quite a few resources right off the bat, eh? Okay, let's go down here and fix that. So you are meant to extract only the pebbles out, which is being done. All of the other stuff is being done. The only thing that hasn't been selected to go in, you actually have, because you're extracting there with no filter. What's the holdup? Can you not? Can you not extract into the bottom? Is that the problem we're having here? Gosh, that's so many resources. Look at that. Can you not extract into the bottom? That's a bit silly. What we can do is bring this out. What we can do is just do one of these. Got to be careful because of that connection there. It's going to void a few things, which I don't necessarily want. Yeah, I could do that. Golly, look at all that. Okay, and so all of that is being drug into the cable itself, which means we could get rid of that connection there and there. We could actually pick up that one. We can bring it here and then up. If we do this connection there, that's going to break things. Let's go there. Let's get rid of that connection. We'll go here, and then we'll hook this, but we got to be really quick with it. Okay, we happy? Okay, things seem to be happy. And yeah, things are happy. Okay, cool. Look at that. Insane. Okay, we very well might have lost quite a few resources there, but that's the best that I could come up with. Yeah, that's the best I could come up with. Whoops. Okay, anything else backing up whatsoever? Let me make sure the raw iron is leaving. Are you fast enough? Yeah, you're fast enough for sure. What about these guys? Looks like you are being fed in there, which is nice. You are being fed in there too. Let's go ahead and help them out a little bit. We'll go to fast mode on both of these. I believe that was a factor as well. Okay, that's being pulled out. Let's sort that. Everything looks to be going pretty good. Yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. Let's make sure these are being fed just fine. They are. Let's go through. Actually, I believe I don't need to do anything because everything's lit up. Everything's fine. And yeah, cool stuff. We're getting quite a few resources now, which is nice to see. Those are building up, which I don't care for. Why are you guys broke? Is it this? No. Why are we broke? Why are we broke? Hello? Okay, there's a few things that I think happened. Yeah, you can see the diamonds and stuff still going in there. There's a few things that I think might have happened here. So let's get some filters. Let's get this filter here. Let's get a pebble. I think what happened was there may have been some of these resources be pulled into the pipe itself somehow, and I think that's the reason why it's kind of backing up. Let's do amethyst. What else we got? Raw iron, which we don't have because of the system going crazy with it. Okay, I think we can get that while we're there. Let's get some flint. And I think that's it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw all of these in there, and we're going to set that to ignore. Then we'll go back to the farm. This should still be backing up. Yep, okay, cool. What we're going to do is we're going to take a thing of that, and we're going to throw it into there as well. Then we're going to go underneath, and we're going to break this, and then replace it down. Yeah, see? A bunch of the raw iron was in there. Yep. That's what I thought. Okay, and as soon as we select extract on this big guy, there's also copper in it too, which is, I mean, the copper was meant to be in there. So what we can do is we can do this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that actually. What we're going to do is we're going to go here, sort it, and then we'll press extract, and then we'll click on it and throw that in there really quickly. Okay, so now the raw iron isn't going anywhere. Okay. Alright, which means this one is probably clogged with something as well. Actually, no, that's only getting the raw iron and stuff like that in. Okay, so now, let's go here while we're thinking about it. Okay, so now that's force loaded. Okay, so now you aren't getting what you need. No, it's this guy. This guy's not getting what it needs. Sheesh, excuse me. Okay. The raw iron should be going directly into here, and it's not because of the system. Right, okay, alright. So what we can do, very briefly, is we can look at this filter here, and we can grab it out, open it up, throw that in there, and then we can place it back. So now they should be already out of the system because of the short time it took for me to update the thing in the first place, and it's gone. Beautiful. Okay. Everybody should be happy now. Let's look in here. We do see the diamonds still going in there, so that's beautiful. We see smelted stuff. That's great to see. You guys aren't backed up at all. No, everything looks to be still smoothly moving in here. Yep. Everything moves in here. Beautiful. And I believe we're done. That was automated gravel. And now we're getting quite a bit of resources for it. So that's cool. Now, the next thing that we will be coming into notice is we're going to be filling up our storages. And these are only 1Ks, okay? What I've done, or on the back here, is I've made a few ME drives. Yeah, a few. That's the reason for these right here. So there's 24 of them. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 8, 24. Yeah. So there's 24 cables here. There are 24 drives here, and I fully expect to fill all of these with 64K storage disks. Item disks, right here. Let's get rid of it. We don't really need the fortune because they're stupid fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to queue this up, and we're going to see what really happens. I've already got this part set up. Actually, no, because we need to figure out how many's here. Each of these can hold 10, and we've got 24, so we can make 240 64Ks. Which means we'll need a few things, right? So we're gonna need. We've actually got quite a bit of the stuff that we need, but we don't have the bigger stuff. So like we need a bunch of gold, redstone, and all that fun stuff. So how many of these can we actually make? Can we make 100? No. Can I make 40? I can't make 40. 30? 20. Can I make 10? I can make 10. Alright, let's craft 10 of them. So now all of these should be starting to get some stuff. Cool stuff. Look at that. Isn't that satisfying? Look at that. I think that's satisfying. Seeing all of your stuff come to life. Yeah. Cool beans. How long does it say it'll take? 38 seconds for all of that. That's kind of crazy. Now that did wipe out quite a bit of resources in order to do that craft. So, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, let's see here. We've got a whole stack of seeds here, so that's cool. We could probably just grab a bunch of this. Our stuff is done. So these. Now what I can do is I can combine these with a item cell housing, which I don't have. Actually, I do. Oh, okay, cool. And then 64Ks. Let's go. Alright, now let's throw the 64Ks in here. So I've only got enough for a whole storage here, which is going to be quite better for us in the long run. That right there is going to do us quite a bit. Cool stuff. Let's go ahead and continue on with this. We're going to be creating the crystals themselves, because in the long run what you can do is you can just send these through a crusher and like this and get those hardest quartz dust there. So that's a bit more cost effective and stuff like that. So you can see our iron is building quite quickly. Still got 8K, and then we're building zinc and osmium and diamonds and lead and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's really quick. Oh, this one. It's really quick. This right here. Let's make sure we're doing all right. So this is the buffer, and that's the big reason why we had the buffer in the first place, just so we can have everything go where it needs to go. So now those are fine. We go back to the sphere, and this should be lighting up every now and then. Yep, see? Every time it gets a raw iron in the system, it can go ahead and do all that cool stuff. So now while we're here, we can do this, right? So let's get some... can I just take a single piece? There we go. We can do uranium, zinc, tin. We can do platinum, lead, nickel, silver, tin. We can start doing this, right? Just like that. And now look at there. So then we can do raw uranium. Actually, no, this is probably doing some stuff. Yeah. And then it'll start grabbing the rest of them. See? Yeah, it's pretty quick with all of the stack upgrades in there. Let's get a capacity card. Boom. And then for the capacity card, we can throw it in here. And it'll unlock another row for our cool stuff. Yeah. So let's look for raw. Raw platinum, we'll grab one of those. We'll grab lead, nickel, silver, tin, nickel, lead, aluminum. Oh, it's actually getting to it. Okay, yeah. Let's go in here and just throw whatever else isn't already in there. And yeah, cool, fun stuff. Got 10K sticks, which I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. It's because of the witch farm. How many ender pearls we got, eh? 1,000? It's not too terrible. Why do I keep going to power? Yep. So this is going to be continuing going for the foreseeable future, and we will be getting quite a few resources out of that. So, with that being said, the next time that we see each other, we'll probably be going for the sand and the dust generations as well. But for now, this is the gravel setup, and I hope you all have had an amazing time with me building this absolute monstrosity of a build. This took me 1 hour and 41 minutes to do, so not too terrible, not too terrible. With that being said, appreciate you all for watching, and this is probably heavily edited, but you know, appreciate you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time for the sand and gravel setups. Bye, guys.